Who want to come over here and play in this park? This is where a young lady lost her life.
After a deadly shooting at a park in Fort Worth, there's a new push to make that area and other parts of North Texas safer. How leaders and residents say they plan to do so.
I mean, small business like ours, we'll probably have to shut down.
New rules for the THC industry in Texas. Could it collapse under new regulations? And convicted sex offender and megachurch founder Robert Morris is out of jail right now. His message to his accuser coming up. At a neighborhood park meant for laughter, families and children at play, there are now flowers, candles, and some quiet tears. Scoop Jefferson shows us how one woman is turning grief into action as authorities ramp up a major crackdown on violent crime in North Texas.
This makeshift memorial at historic Stop 6 Park, a reminder of the gun violence that took Sienna Boone last December, an innocent bystander at the park.
She was going somewhere.
And a reminder why Tina James started Safe in the Six.
It's our children, it's our homes, it's our schools, it's our churches. We should be the first line of defense when it comes to saving our community.
Still, Tina welcomes federal, state, and local law enforcement expanding Project Safe Neighborhoods, targeting more areas hard hit by violent crime.
Our mission is to remove violent criminals from these streets and restore safety to our homes and businesses.
Officials will focus on data, repeat offenders, and a crackdown on drugs and illegal weapons.
Drug trafficking, it's inevitably linked to violent crime.
Now, with Fort Worth at the center, Project Safe Neighborhoods expands into northwest and northeast Dallas to Amarillo and Lubbock. The expansion even targets criminals' unsuspected trafficking techniques.
When the Postal Service becomes an unwitting courier for illegal drugs or firearms, postal inspectors are there to investigate.
We leverage these partnerships to identify and target the most prolific, violent, and dangerous offenders.
To the chucklehead outlaws that may catch this, the light will be left on at the end.
Fentanyl is overrunning our communities.
And shedding light on Project Safe Neighborhood programs is part of Eric Bowie's job, so everyone feels safe at home.
We want to make it safer for the kids to go outside without worrying about catching a stray bullet or just any kind of violent crime.
We have to be a part of changing.
And that's something Tina James believes will help stop future deadly violence where she lives. In Fort Worth, I'm Scoop Jefferson.
Now to a developing story involving the founder of Gateway Church. Former senior pastor Robert Morris is a free man this afternoon after serving 6 months in jail. Prosecutors in Oklahoma say Morris started abusing Cindy Clemishire in the 1980s when she was only 12 years old. Morris struck a deal, pleading guilty to 5 counts of lewd acts with a child, and was ordered to spend 6 months in jail, pay $250,000 in restitution, and register as a sex offender. Morris just issued a new statement saying, quote, "What I did to Cindy decades ago was wrong. There is no other word for it, and there is no excuse for it. I am deeply sorry. I have carried the weight of that wrong for a very long time." WFAA's Tiffany Liu just spoke with Clemishire about his release, and you'll hear directly from her coming up tonight at 6. This afternoon, we're learning new details about Tiger Woods' rollover crash in Florida. When police arrested him Friday, they found 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket. It's a prescribed opioid used to treat extreme pain. Woods has had 7 back surgeries on top of multiple surgeries on his ankle, leg, and knees. According to the arrest affidavit, Woods appeared lethargic, had bloodshot eyes, and failed multiple field sobriety tests. He refused a blood and urine test on scene.
Urinalysis would have showed evidence or not of other drugs. He was charged with DUI with property damage and failure to take a lawful test, both misdemeanors.
Woods told deputies he was looking at his phone and changing the radio and didn't notice traffic slowing ahead. It comes 5 years after he was involved in a high-speed rollover crash in L.A. that resulted in significant leg injuries. He was also arrested for DUI in 2017. All right, the evening rush is just starting to pick up. Stacia Wilson has a look at what's happening out there on the road.
Yeah, Chris, so we are starting right along I-30. In fact, this was active the last time I checked in with you, right around 4:30. Still has not cleared. It's a stalled vehicle, and it's blocking 2 lanes right along I-30 eastbound at Bobtown. So traffic that is heading toward Lake Ray Hubbard. I feel like we so many times in the afternoon have problems around this area. I-30 eastbound at Bobtown, stalled vehicle, again, really slowing traffic down. In fact, it looks like that backup goes all the way to 635. Also, we're watching a problem that's slowing traffic along the Dallas North Tollway southbound at Spring Valley Road. You do have one lane blocked there. And then checking down, this is in the southern portion of Dallas, I-35E northbound at Wintergreen. Looks like you're starting to see a little bit of a backup there as a result of an accident blocking one lane there. So if you're heading out right now, those are some areas to watch out for. Tarrant County is looking good, so is Collin County, but traffic heavy still along I-20 eastbound at State Highway 310, where they've been doing some road work. Chris?
All right, thank you, Stacia. A new rule takes effect today banning smokable hemp in Texas. Some business owners just told Richard Solomon it's stringent enough to shut them down.
You're looking for flour, it's all gone.
Customers walked in looking for what they've always bought.
All gone. Yesterday was the last day.
But found out in real time, it's gone.
Can't believe this is happening.
I know.
At Endo Dispensary and Wellness in Plano, owners Maddie and Jade are now having that same conversation.
It just happened very fast.
A new Texas law forced them to pull most of their products off the shelves.
Just looking at it right now, it's a little upsetting. It's been a rough morning.
It bans most smokable hemp products, like THC flower, pre-rolls, and many products that make up the bulk of their business. Yesterday, the two made $7,000 in sales. So far today, barely $50.
80% of our revenue. So our income was based on 85% of what just got banned. Yes.
So now they're being forced to pivot, not just with what they sell, but what their business even is. Instead of just cannabis products, they'll use the space for live music, events, and community gatherings. Anything to stay afloat.
It's just going to slow people down from continuing their business.
They're intoxicating products.
Supporters of the law, like Betsy Jones with Texans for Safe and Drug-Free Youth, says this closes a loophole that allowed intoxicating products to be sold with little oversight.
It's a billion-dollar industry, but the people who are profiting from this industry are the ones who should be paying for the costs.
No disposables, no wax.
And back at the shop, the impact is immediate. Customers walking in expecting one thing, leaving with nothing.
I'm sorry, guys.
Because having to turn away their customers...
Take care. Thank you, guys.
...is something they're still trying to get used to. In Plano, I'm Richard Solomon.
Right now, a local group is standing in solidarity with the alleged victims of Cesar Chavez. Just this month, allegations of sexual abuse were leveled at the late co-founder of the United Farm Workers Union. The Greater Dallas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce says they stand against sexual abuse.
Survivors have confirmed it. The Chamber condemns it without qualification and without exception. He committed these crimes. Accountability does not expire.
Leaders went on to say the farm workers movement does not belong to Chavez and his alleged crimes are not his victims' crosses to bear. Tonight's the deadline to sign up for the state's new school voucher program. Families could receive up to $10,000 to help pay for private schools. A judge extended the deadline by 2 weeks after Islamic private schools and some Muslim families sued, claiming they were excluded because of their religion. Those schools have now been added to the program, but it's unclear if a judge will allow other Islamic schools to join. And that's why the same group just filed a new lawsuit asking to extend the deadline a second time. Less than 30 minutes from now, Fort Worth ISD will hold its first board meeting since the TEA imposed sweeping leadership changes. The state takeover is well underway now, and Adriana de Alba shares what we're expecting to come out of tonight's meeting.
Well, we are just minutes away from a pivotal moment for this district and the community. The new state-appointed board here at Fort Worth ISD is set to meet publicly for the very first time. There are major decisions ahead, and tonight parents will have the chance to speak out publicly for the very first time. This comes after the elected school board was temporarily replaced by a state-appointed board of managers tasked with turning the district around. State intervention could last upwards of 4 years. It all depends on academic progress. The district is now under full state control after years of struggling performance. The Texas Education Agency intervened after one campus failed 5 straight years. The district currently has 11 failing campuses. Tonight, the new state-appointed board will get to work, electing a president, vice president, and secretary, and taking up the acting superintendent agreement. With former Superintendent Dr. Karen Molinar out, the district will now be led by state-appointed Superintendent Dr. Peter Licata. He's a veteran educator with decades of experience brought in to help reset the district's direction. And that meeting's set to begin tonight at 5:30 with public speaking up first. No doubt there will be a lot of eyes on what this new state-appointed board can do and just how quickly they can turn this district around. In Fort Worth, I'm Adriana D'Alba.
And ahead of tonight's meeting, WFAA's Brittany Costello got a one-on-one with the new superintendent to hear his plans to improve Fort Worth ISD.
How can we get the best teachers? How can we recruit? How can we pay them? The new model that we're bringing in is really nice for teachers where they'll be making $100,000, $110,000, $120,000 in some of the hardest schools if they're showing great results.
Where does that money come from?
That is what we're working on.
Brittany's full interview is streaming on demand right now on our streaming app. WFAA Plus is free to download to your TV. Well, the city of Addison could be one step closer to ditching DART. The council approved a contract with Via Transportation to provide microtransit and paratransit services. Via will use 7 existing DART bus stop locations. The pilot program will last 6 months, but it could be expanded by the city council. Via is already being used by the city of Arlington. Addison is one of 3 cities that will let voters decide whether to withdraw from the public transit agency on May 2nd, joining Highland Park and University Park. Irving, Plano, and Farmers Branch have canceled their elections.